impact on the game. He threw a touchdown pass, didn't throw an interception. I think he just wants to jump those numbers up in terms of flinging it around and letting his receivers get into the end zone.
Miles Sanders, first carry of the game. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Looking to throw. That's swung out wide to Sanders. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. A gain of 4 last play. They double that here and get 8. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Shotgun snap, and then the give to Sanders. And he'll grab a gain of 5 out of this up to the 41-yard line. Well, this defense for the Cowboys, they were terrific in the win over Tennessee a week ago.
It was a little bit enlightening talking with the defensive coordinator about their performance last week, because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
That is catch number 300 now for his NFL career. On 1st down, Sanders. And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much, as he's down to the 48. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. They'll look to throw. Open man is Goddard, the tight end. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Open man, that's Devontae Smith. And he is going to have an Eagles 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Pretty solid start for the rookie here on this first drive, Charles.
Able to have some confidence, stepping back into the pocket, move around a little bit, find open receivers, and deliver. That just means his confidence is going to continue to grow because he's getting more and more comfortable with each completed pass.
A gain of 6 there on 1st. On play action, they'll throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Cowboys have recovered. Now we'll see what the right arm of Dak Prescott has in store as the Dallas Cowboys offense sets up shop.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win, and that's what they did last week. But there's also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
So Prescott of the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at the 45. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. It looks like a loss of right around 11 there on 1st down to set him back on 2nd. Here's the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. He'll get 3, but it leaves him with a big hole here on 3rd and very long. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
That went a little too high as it's knocked away and incomplete. Out now comes the Cowboys punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. This will be fielded at the 17. That'll be a 41-yard punt, just 1 yard on the return. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And they got across the 50 last time, but fumbled and turned it over, so they'll be looking to have a short-term memory here, Mr. Davis.
Not only a short-term memory, but a whole lot better ball security. Because if they take care of the ball, continue to move it, their chances of scoring some points, they've got to feel pretty good about. They thought they had things moving in the right direction last time. Fumbles, they don't just affect you on offense, they affect your overall team because now your defense has to make that stand up. And they'll use him out in the backfield, and sometimes quite a bit. They're just trying to get him touches any way they can. 4 catches a week ago, there's another one right there.
Back to throw now on first down. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around to make a play on the football.
Sanders with a carry on first down as he picks his way forward for a gain of 5. We're scoreless after 1. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. He'll look to throw. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 19.
He's certainly done a nice job spreading the field on this drive, and here he finds his big tight end for good yardage. And that's what you have to do. Keep defenses guessing about where you're going to go with the football.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. Quick slant here to Smith. And the Eagles are going to be set up with a 1st and goal on a pass play that moves them all the way down to the 1.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
A loss of 2 there, 2nd down. They'll look to throw. The quick slant caught. Touchdown. Dallas Goedert, his 11th touchdown on the year, as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon.
You get down near the goal line, this is where having a sure-handed tight end becomes a luxury, and it pays off big time, especially when the defense sells out against the run, and he finds himself open for an easy touchdown.
Extra point right down the middle, and that makes the score 7-0. So that drive goes 8 plays. The result, Philadelphia in the end zone. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. On the return, Tony Pollard from his end zone. And this return will net positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. Second drive forthcoming here for the Dallas Cowboys. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically...
rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off at the 36. And they will finally stop him, but a great return. Gets that football all the way down to the 16-yard line. So the interception there, and Charles, I'd imagine that's something you can maybe live with in December, but not come January.
And I love how you make the distinction there. You're talking about regular season versus the postseason, the playoffs. Because these guys, they've already clinched a playoff spot, but they know, looking ahead, when they get into the postseason, they've got to take better care of the football, because turnovers in that situation, they really become magnified.
Second down, back to Sanders. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at them and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense. And on that go-around, the offense won the challenge. And he is going to go down. Back at the 11-yard line. DeMarcus Lawrence make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. So they get pushed back to the 11, and here's 2nd and goal. They'll run with Sanders. And nothing doing here as this time the run maybe gets him back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. No gain on the play there. They're going to need to come up with something better here on 3rd and goal. They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. Going to be taken down, sacked back around the 18-yard line. Neville Gallimore has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. And his kick here is good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So that one on target, and it adds to this first half lead.
And maybe we're too early to worry too much about one-score lead, two-score lead, etc. But this is where you kind of start banking those points that come in helpful later on.
And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. Cowboy offense heading out. Let's take a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. And for them, it's no longer a question of will they make the playoffs. They've clinched the division title. The question, can they hold on to that #1 seed?
And this is where the mental fortitude comes to play, doesn't it? Because now you're not just the coach talking about it, his team talking about it to each other, supporting each other, carrying each other along, because having that #1 seed means everything in the NFL.
It does. So even though the division title's clinched, shouldn't take the foot off the gas.
No, not at all. Play it all the way through. I think we've seen that in recent years in the NFL. The teams that play and play to win each and every game, they're the ones to deal with in the playoffs.
So 8 yards on the completion there, and that'll bring up second down. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman, both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
Touchdown, Cowboys! C.D. Lamb, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Cowboys have cut it to within a score. And if you blinked, you probably missed that touchdown drive. It happened in a hurry.
I was just putting mustard on my hot dog, and all of a sudden he's in the end zone. I've got to do a better job of paying attention with this quick strike offense.
I thought you were going to tell your wife about the hot dogs in the booth thing.
I just didn't I?
Yeah, you did. You did. Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead is down to a field goal. Scoring summary, 3-play drive, and it culminates in a Dallas touchdown. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. The field comes Traquan Smith and the rest of the offense. You look at the numbers for him, and 1,000 yards obviously well within his sights, barring injury. He will get there. The question, will he get there? And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked up by the linebacker, Jalen Smith. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line.
That's what we've seen from this defense all year long, because they've been so good at finding ways to take the football away. And they just gave us another example right here. A strong defense, that's something you're going to need to rely on come playoff time. And this crew has got one. There's no doubt about that, Brandon.
And this one is incomplete. Well, this offense, Charles, we've talked about how well they played all season, sitting now at 13-0 with a finish line for a perfect regular season. That's in sight. Some in the media this week were pointing back to the 07 Patriots. Of course, remember, they finished the regular season unbeaten, but they were tested multiple times in that final month plus.
Yeah, with something like 4 of their last 6.
Touchdown! That's caught at the 2. 2 first-half touchdown passes now for Dak Prescott. And the Cowboys have taken the lead. CD for them. This has just been an offensive explosion here in the second quarter.
Yeah, held scoreless in the first quarter. Now they find the end zone again here in the second. Sometimes you just have to have some patience. A lot of people think it's always an adjustment. You have to change what you're doing. Sometimes you just have to do your game plan just a little bit better. And I think that's part of what we're seeing here.
Point after, right down the middle. And the lead is now 14-10. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. Here again comes the captain of this offense, leading his crew back out there now. He's had a solid start to this game, but bottom line is they're losing, so he doesn't care about his stats. He just wants to right the ship on the scoreboard.
He wants to actually increase his stats because he feels like if he does, that means things will get better for his team, maybe get them back into the ball game or into the lead. In these situations, I remember playing with a quarterback once where he actually ran out onto the field first ahead of everyone else just to say, guys, let's go. Try and create that energy, create that spark.
Well, so far he has 1 touchdown, 1 interception. He'll be looking for that second touchdown now.
These two teams, you might remember, met earlier in the year in Arlington with the Cowboys winning that ball game. So they are gunning for the sweep here in Dallas.
This is Smith with a grab. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 45-yard line. Back to throw again. Out to the left there and complete to the tight end Goddard. The Eagles will take their third and final timeout as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. Again, he'll drop to throw. And that's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left.
He did a fine job there of not hitting it before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
The long-distance shot before break comes up empty, but now Charles flipped the script. Time for likely one more play as field position becomes an issue.
Yeah, when you talk about field position, remember, if this kick is missed, the ball comes back to where? The spot that they snapped it from. So field position becomes a factor. I think at this spot, you might also want to think about throwing the Hail Mary. You know, put the ball up in the air. Maybe you can get 6 out of it instead of 3.
Yeah, see what happens. So that would have been something from that distance, but to no avail. Comes up empty as we have reached the intermission. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
Okay, Brandon, time for a sprint to the finish, as it's time to get you caught up with what's happening around the NFL here in a pivotal Week 15. We'll begin up north at MetLife Stadium over in New Jersey, where it was the football team who were victorious in that. Samuel, a touchdown catch in the victory. From there, we head over to the West Coast. Check out the Niners at home at Levi Stadium. And at this point, they trail the visiting Atlanta Falcons. 2 touchdown passes there for the former MVP, Matt Ryan. Lastly, let's head to Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati. See what's happening with the Bengals. And this one going the visitors' way, as the Texans have the lead in that one. 2 touchdown passes there for Deshaun Watson. In the game you're watching, you've seen a strong first half out of Dak Prescott. His guys have the lead, as we'll hand it back over to our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point.
The Cowboys will get the football first here, and they have the lead as well as we are underway in quarter 3. Pollard elects to keep it, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. Out come the Cowboys now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
He'll hand it off to Elliott to begin the drive.
Elliott a first down and more. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. One thing that's great about watching him run, Charles, he doesn't hesitate. He got to the left side of his O-line and just went.
So there's two ways to look at that. One, just absolutely unconcerned, just takes off and goes. But more the latter, I think, which is he has absolute confidence in the guys in front of him, the guys doing the blocking for him. He just takes it and goes with abandon.
A full 5-yard loss that time. It's going to make second down pretty tough. A give to Elliott. And across the midfield stripe into Eagle territory. Able to pick up a healthy chunk of yards, 7-yard gain, but a tough 3rd and 9 upcoming. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. On 3rd down, it's Prescott. Escaping the pressure right. A dump off to Elliott. And he can only manage to get this to the 45-yard line. Well short of the first. 3 yards, all they could muster there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
How about that strategy there, Brandon? 3rd down, they just said, we've got faith in our tacklers. We'll give you the short stuff, and just decided to protect the sticks. So every time I hear fans telling me tackling's not a part of the game anymore, plays like that, I can clip and save and show them you have to tackle well if you want to be a good defense.
4th down, Prescott. Got his man there, complete to Gallup. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. Inside 4 minutes to go, 3rd quarter. Now back to the ground with Elliott. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. Well, he gets attended to. He'll step aside. Here's Elliott. They'll be brought down at the 21 after a pickup of 4.
These two teams, you might recall, met back in mid-season, Week 8 to be exact. And it was the Cowboys winning on the road, so they look for the sweep here back home in Arlington.
And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line.
52 yards rushing for him so far in this one as he nears 1,400 for the year.
A first down carry by Elliott. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott with his 16th touchdown of the year.
And the Cowboys take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead.
Circle that drive because that might be one to remember. Well executed to give them a little cushion.
Well, let's take it into the boxing ring. You talk about them commanding it, keeping the fight where they wanted to, whether it's in the center of the ring or putting them on the ropes because it was jab, jab, jab. And finally, the haymaker to put that drive away.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line.
So here are the Eagles now as they get set for their first possession of the second half.
And their deficit a little wider than it was at halftime. Does that touchdown a minute ago change the thinking here at all?
I think it does, at least a little bit, because now urgency has to start setting in. You can't go out there and go 3 and out and run the risk of falling behind substantially, but you have to do it without pressing, because pressing, that'll lead you into bigger errors.
A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. Another run with Sanders, and he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. They're going to look to throw. And he's got his man. It's the tight end Goddard.
And he is going to have an Eagles first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him. Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed. Because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. If they want it first, they need to get the football to the 32 here on third down. He's got Smith here.
And he is going to have an Eagles first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll set up a throw. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete.
Dallas, Texas is the spot, third quarter inside AT&T Stadium. Glad you're with us. 2nd and 10.
They go back to the ground with Sanders. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. We're off to the 4th quarter here in Week 15. Happy holidays to all. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. In search of 8 yards on third down. They've already converted 2 of these on this drive, 2 for 2. He'll drop to throw. And that will be incomplete.
They really had a good drive going there, but a nice recovery by the defense these past few downs, able to knock that one away on third down and bring up what I think for the offense, an unexpected 4th down here.
And this one is right down Broadway. And that'll make this an 8-point game. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get at the least a 3 and out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return.
And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there.
Their lead back down to 1 score after the field goal a moment ago, so they'll be looking to string together a few first downs, likely on the ground as they begin 1st and 10.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
And some strong running, and he'll get it up to the 33-yard line.
78 yards on the ground for him so far. Elliott going to get it again on 2nd down.
He'll pick up only a yard there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 7. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
That is caught by Lamb.
And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40.
And that certainly appears to be a critical conversion right there, because not only do they keep the drive going, they take valuable time off the clock as well. They have to feel really good about that last completion. We're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front 7, reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing, slowing them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. That catch now puts him on the doorstep of 500. It's his 499th reception. Now Elliott. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott, his second touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Cowboys add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week. Well, that's certainly going to bump up the old win probability index because now it's a two-score game here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, you're taking me into that deep water now. Win probability index. This game's definitely not over. We're not looking at a 0.5% or something. It's just 2 scores. But the way that this team has played, to me, what I've seen, they absolutely deserve to win this game. They've been the better team by far throughout.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
Philadelphia's offense ready to give us another look.
And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. A gain of 6 there on first. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Back to throw. Over the middle to Smith. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, you assign a man to him and try and
this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by the linebacker, Jalen Smith. And the Cowboys are going to have it here just past the 25. That time defensively looked like they showed quite a bit of pressure but backed off, and it proved fruitful. They get the pick.
He went through all of his rules about getting rid of the ball quickly because he read blitz. He saw all those people stacked at the line of scrimmage, and then they fooled him by dropping into coverage. Now he's ready to get rid of the ball fast, but guess what? Too many defenders out there. Exactly as you described, an interception.
That hold coming from the middle of the line, the center.
And it's difficult for him because sometimes you got people right over you, and as soon as you snap it, trying to get your hands up and block them, you can be a little bit late getting it done.
After the penalty, it's Elliott. Big hold of the 30, and finally taken down at the 36-yard line. An ideal spot here to get a first down and try to run some more clock, and this is 2nd and less than a yard. Again, it's Elliott.
And this is going to be a Cowboys first down as he'll get this up to about the 42.
Now the Eagles will use the 2nd of their timeouts, and they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. They'll try and run some clock now with Elliott. And across the midfield stripe into Eagle territory. The Eagles will take their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. They go back to Elliott. He's been busy. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40.
144 yards rushing for him in this one as he starts to draw nearer to a 1,500-yard campaign.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. He's able to push his way forward somehow for a gain of about 2 yards. 2nd down now. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Elliott, toss right. And down right around the 32-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup. The Cowboys going to use their 2nd timeout now. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. The Eagles call on the extra defensive back here as they prepare for a stop on 3rd down. Throwing. Prescott. Man open, that's complete to Dalton Schultz.
And he will have a Cowboys first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Well, Prescott here to throw.
Left side to Lamb.
And out of bounds all the way down at the 3.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomped down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
Brandon, some of those windows to throw the football that exist when you're between the 20s, they don't exist when you're this close to the goal line. But as a former DB,
and now it appears that the referee's been buzzed, and we'll get a review. And this being inside 2 minutes of play, everything coming from up above. They're taking a peek at whether or not those feet were in bounds, and obviously a big call here in the end zone.
and not just the feet. How about the hands? How's the ball possessed while the feet are hopefully getting down in bounds? That's what they're trying to look at to see if it all comes together.
So the folks in New York just going to wind up confirming what the official saw, as this play will stand as is.
Flush to his right toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
That was a touchdown if he could have hung on. Instead, it was a well-timed collision to jar that one free.
A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. Now Prescott. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. So it's been a long drive. They've held the ball for quite a while. Now what do you do here?
Well, to me, at this stage, after this drive, this close to the goal line, 3 points would be a letdown. I'm going for it here.
And they're going to go for this thing. They're not going to leave anything to chance. They're going to roll the dice on 4th and goal. Prescott. That ball is caught. It's Gallup. Touchdown, Cowboys. Michael Gallup, his 5th touchdown now on the year.
And the Cowboys are closing in on a 14-0 record as they extend their lead.
Extra point right down the middle. And the lead opens up now to 22 points. That one in the books as a 12-play drive. And it's capped off with a Cowboys touchdown. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive.
And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the 4th quarter. This would be their 3rd straight defeat.
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time.
Picked off by Kelvin Joseph.
Certainly not what he was hoping for, Charles. That's now 3 interceptions in this ball game.
But there's a lot of knowledge to be gleaned every time you throw an interception if you do things the right way. And hasn't there been a pretty darn good quarterback along the way who threw a lot of interceptions early, learned from them, and became great later?
Who would that be?
That'd be one Peyton Manning. Threw 28 his rookie year. That's the NFL record. How'd things turn out for him?
I think okay. He's a guy in all the commercials now, right?
Yeah, I think he's doing okay.
Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. And he is going to go down back at the 11-yard line. So this one will end in a victory for the Dallas Cowboys. And they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half that put this one on ice.
So you get the sense that whatever was said at halftime obviously hit home. I think it's a little bit more than that, though. Obviously, there are words that are said, and, hey, come on, guys, we have to play better. But sometimes it's just sharpening your execution, sharpening your focus, and maybe doing the things you practiced all week without major adjustments, just doing them better. And that got it done in this one.
So for Dallas, they move ever closer to the perfect regular season as they run things to 14-0.
And they will hit the road next week to take on Washington.
Meanwhile, for the Eagles, their playoff hopes take a hit as they drop to 7-7. And they'll try to get back to their win.
Today, from FedEx Field in Landover, Maryland, it's a special Christmas Day edition of the NFL on EA Sports.
The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16.
And no run back on the opening kickoff. It'll come out to the 25. So out comes the Washington offense onto the field.
And out will come the leader of this offense, and that, of course, is their signal caller.
And I liked what his head coach told us about him this week, that no matter what happens, whether he throws 7 interceptions or 7 touchdown passes, he's the same assertive leader in the huddle on each and every play. He can throw the 7 interceptions, just blame the football, blame anything else, and still carry himself like he is the man.
It's like you, assertive in our production meetings.
Well, especially when we're talking about ordering dinner, ordering
I was
some
just going to
snacks.
say.
That's where I go.
And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. The numbers for Thomas from last week's effort. 7 catches, 97 yards, and a touchdown.
And he was able to get open there, but that's not always easy against this bunch defensively. We are deep enough into the season where numbers count. This is #1 rated defense in the NFL. He'll have a tough time.
Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call, mark off the 5, and keep it moving.
Following the penalty, it's 1st and 5, and you got to think offensively, all kinds of options. Steps away. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40.
As a rookie quarterback, that's exactly how you endear yourself to your teammates. Give it up for the cause. It's also how you end up on the training table, too.
Yeah, it's a catch-22. Coach doesn't like it. Teammates love it. Where do you fall on it?
Well, I fall on wanting to endear yourself to your teammates, but pick your spots. Be smart about it. They need you for the full season.
Yeah, the rookie's going to learn as he goes. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. On the draw, it's Gibson. And he got half of what he needed there, 2 yards, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more. They'll run with Gibson. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's
Touchdown, Washington. De'Ami Brown.
His 2nd touchdown on the season.
And Washington takes the ball down the field and scores on their opening drive. Extra point by Sly is up and good.
And it's now a 7-0 game. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
This is Tony Pollard.
Oh, a good-looking return set up here. Look at this, middle of the field, a breakaway. He will score. Touchdown, Cowboys. Well, there you go. They gave up a score to start the game, and as quick as they could get it back, they did on the return.
And people talk about this all the time, whether you're coaching it, whether you're trying to work on it, whether you're just trying to put in the minds of your players. Attack back as fast as you can after giving up a score. No quicker way than on a kick return.
Extra point splits the uprights.
And that will tie our score here in this opening quarter of play.
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away.
And we will not see an attempt to match that return touchdown, as this will be a touchback and bring it out to the 25. Now Washington going to retake the field for drive number 2.
As the season winds down and you look at them in totality, you know, the offense has struggled. The defense has been pretty good, so I would imagine the changes this offseason may be more on the offensive side of the ball.
And this is where we always hear the term complementary football, because as you noted, the defense has played well enough for them to win games, and the offense has held them back. So they've got to reward that defense by improving on offense. I don't know if you make a change, a quarterback, running back, tight end, it doesn't matter. Get better players, better system, so they can play to the standards of the defense, and the win column will result.
And for a second straight play, that Cowboy defense gets him to the ground behind the line of scrimmage. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down. Now back to throw. And that is incomplete. So on 4th down, Washington going to call on Tress Way to punt it away. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. It's taken to the 26. A good kick that time, but also a pretty good 15-yard return. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Time for Dak Prescott and the Dallas offense to go to work. Prescott, of course, the former 4th-round pick in 2016 out of Mississippi State.
And I thought it was a really nice performance last week by him. 3 touchdown passes. I think that signifies exactly what he was getting done. He did have the 1 interception.
But that's the ratio you say you're okay with, right?
If you go 3-1, you're going to be pretty happy over the course of the season. And let's face it, he'll never blame the receiver publicly. But behind closed doors, he probably told his agent, hey, what's the deal? I should have had a perfect game.
This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
The numbers for Zeke from last week. 2 trips to the end zone and well past 100 yards.
And going back and watching the film, we saw every kind of run from him, didn't we? We saw some power. We saw finesse. We saw speed. And what I love the most, he finished each and every run. A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Off the play fake, Prescott. He'll buy some time right. And he's got his receiver, Cooper. And he's going to be out down inside the 20 at the 15. And he has now hit number 500. Charles, that is his 500th NFL career catch.
Definitely worthy of applause, but I remember when 500 meant you were going to the Hall of Fame. Nowadays, in today's football, 500 puts you on the path, a significant number.
Brought down by the quarterback, William Jackson. 2nd and 7 with our score tied at 7, but they're planning to change that soon. Only question, will they get 3 or 6 out of it? They'll get this down inside the 10 for a pickup of about 3. Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field.
An extra man here in the secondary for Washington on 3rd down.
Not something you want to see in week 16 or any week, really. We'll be right back. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. And yes, they want the points, so they will decline the penalty. No question there.
You don't think they spent a couple seconds mulling over what the penalty
I don't
would do
even
for
know
them?
why they asked the sideline.
Not at all. When you put the ball in the end zone on a takeaway, take the points and keep moving.
Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 14-7. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
No run back here for Reed, so this will come out to the 25.
Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. Through one quarter, 14-7 our score.
On 2nd down, here's Gibson again.
And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. 7 yards on the carry, make it 3rd and 4 coming up. They'll look back to throw here. This one complete to Devin Funchess. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 45-yard line.
Well, they obviously read man coverage their partner, and he got downfield, broke down the defender, made him
What do you mean by that, Brooklyn?
Yeah, he made him think he was going to run a different route. Probably thought he was going to take it upfield. Then he curls back inside for the completion.
And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. Space to run past the 20. And this turns into a nice gain with a slide at the end. Well, Charles, in the past, a lot of people called this offense one-dimensional.
I think you did.
Well,
I think it was you.
I'll be honest, I did. I think the fan base is hoping with this young rookie that they can put some wrinkles in this offense like we just saw.
I think you're exactly right, because we did have that discussion that what we've seen in the past from them, they needed to broaden, and they have done it here. Look at what he's bringing to their offense, and now as a defensive coordinator, you've got some extra work to do to prepare for him and their offense.
And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole. Washington on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. They'll roll him out right. And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. A 5-yard touchdown run. And Washington now an extra point away from tying this thing up. Sly on for the extra point. And we've got a good one brewing. We're all knotted up at 14. So a nice drive put together there. They go 75 yards in 9 plays. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. On the return, Tony Pollard from his end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And they, if you just look at this game, Charles, on paper, they've got the edge, no doubt. They're hanging around the top of the NFC. On the other side, you got a squad that's towards the bottom of the NFC. But when we mentioned that to the coaches, they were having no part of it.
Yeah, and I like how you said when we mentioned it. In fact, I mentioned it, and I upset them a little bit, didn't I? Because they wanted no part of that one, and I was reminded, like a 5-year-old, this is the NFL. Any given Sunday, anything can happen. They are guarding against the upset.
On second down, Elliott once more. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. 47 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries.
I know that play went to the left side, and that's what it was designed to do, an outside handoff there. But how about the whole offensive line being involved? Seal the left side where the play was going, what they call play side.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. He'll fire deep downfield for Lamb. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So a costly penalty yardage-wise as that'll move the football down to the spot of the foul.
And what the officials are looking for in these situations, whether you're playing the man or the ball. And if you're playing the man, you get a lot less leeway in terms of what's going to happen at the end of the play. But if you're looking for the football, it's less likely to draw the flag.
And he's got Ezekiel Elliott. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. From the red zone now, Prescott. And that is caught. Touchdown, Cowboys. Dalton Schultz, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Cowboys have broken the tie. Now they'll line up to kick the extra point. It's up and good, and that'll make the score 21-14. 5 plays there on that drive. And it culminates in a Dallas touchdown. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will come out to the 25 as Reed opts for the touchback. So out comes Washington's offense to take over. And that last drive was very, very balanced, pretty methodical. You think they go that route again?
I'm always of the school that until they stop me from doing something, I'm going to continue. And I think that that's exactly what they'll look to do. But the beauty is the balance that they've created sets up opportunities for big plays. Looks like a run, turn into a play action, and throw one deep.
And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Back to throw here. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack.
Clock running as Washington will try and hurry up.
Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more.
And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts.
As the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2.
On third down, here's Gibson.
And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. The Cowboys going to use their second timeout now, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Here's Tressway now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. 46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. And a great job on special teams to down it, as this will be marked out inside the 5-yard line.
What's the deal, y'all?
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. Out of his end zone, Prescott. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And got his man, complete. The Cowboys signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. Just like that, out of danger and up past the 40 now for 1st and 10.
He'll fire deep downfield for Lamb.
He's got a man, complete. Touchdown, Cowboys. 3 touchdown passes now for Dak Prescott. And the Cowboys are able to show off their quick strike ability.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away.
This is DJ Reed returning.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28.
No reason to do anything foolish as they'll snap it one more time on 1st down. And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1. So we've reached halftime here on Christmas Day, as we get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thank you very much. Merry Christmas to you at home as we take you around the NFL on this 25th day of December. We'll get started up at Lucas Oil Stadium in the capital city of Indianapolis. And it's the Colts who have the lead in the second quarter. Sammy Watkins, a touchdown reception. From there, we head down south to Tampa to check on the Bucs at home at Raymond James Stadium. And for the moment, they find themselves trailing the visiting Cincinnati Bengals. Jamar Chase a touchdown reception. Lastly, let's get you to Charlotte, North Carolina. Check on the Panthers at home at Bank of America Stadium. And that game all tied up as they host the visiting Giants. In the game you're watching, you've seen a strong first half out of Dak Prescott. His 3 touchdown passes have his guys out in front as we hand things back over to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Cowboys will get the football first here. They have the lead as well as we are underway in quarter 3. And he will not bring it out. It's a touchback. The Cowboy offense set to go to begin this third quarter. And Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys are lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Bringing him down there, Jonathan Allen. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. They go to Elliott again. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
He'll get this to Elliott. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Elliott. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. 70 yards for him on the ground now, as he has been terrific here this afternoon. So after a good run by Zeke, another 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. Benardrick McKinney there to make the stop.
And Charles, you think about this offense, it's kind of a tricky time of the season because you're 14-0, looking to see this one out to the end, but you start to run into situations where guys are getting a little banged up. Maybe could use some time sharing, some time on the bench. And he cannot avoid the pressure as the Washington pass rush gets home. Montez Sweat in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
They'll need a big play here, will Dak and the Cowboys after the sack. It's 3rd and long. Prescott now. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Certainly appeared to take away his first read, and by the time he tried to look elsewhere and find an open target, the coverage was too good. That one falls incomplete.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback.
First possession of the second half now for Washington. And their defense did its job by forcing the punt to start things out. And now, Charles, can the offense get in gear?
I think, partner, you can sense them saying, okay, the first half was theirs, but now let's get the momentum back on our side. We forced a punt. Now let's go downfield and score. If we do that, we'll be set up well for this second half.
They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24.
A handoff for Gibson.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. They'll set up to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. Here's Tressway now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. But he'll get this away into the icy winter air. Oh, nice move.
Boom!
Still fighting through tackles. It'll be a 10-yard return following a punt of 45. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Now the Cowboys offense heads back onto the field. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. Here's Prescott. He's going to find Gallup here complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
So that one will be accepted. The give is to Elliott. It's a gain of 3, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, obviously, they would have at least liked to have gotten back to the original line of scrimmage. Instead, now, they're dealing with 2nd and long.
I thought they would have passed it after the penalty. Probably wish they would have now. Elliott going to get it again on 2nd down. Takes this to the 45. Broken tackle. Brought him a little extra space. Call it a gain of 5 that time. They'll be left with a 3rd down and about 9 to go. We are off to the 4th quarter here on this special Christmas Day broadcast. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. To throw is Prescott. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Schultz. And he'll get this to the 40, but that's still going to be a few yards short of the 1st down. Prescott to throw on 4th. Eluding the pressure right. Mike McCarthy took the gamble, didn't pay off.
And Washington will have it on the turnover on downs.
And I am not sure, partner, there what the mindset was to go for it. I don't know.
And some teams just feel that possession is the key to everything. They just want to have the football in their hands. No matter how it goes to the other team, they just don't trust doing that. So they say, listen, go for it and try and finish it ourselves.
2nd and 1. Throw right side is going to be caught by Samuel. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles.
Well, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. They'll look to throw again. This will be caught by Brown. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw.
Throw right side, taken in by Gibson.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Well, when you're leading in the 4th quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down.
And that is incomplete. The coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. They'll look to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1.
Good yardage on the completion there. When they look at the scoreboard, they do understand a field goal is not going to do them any good. My guess, they're going to press.
And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Washington.
Antonio Gibson,
His 11th touchdown of the year.
and Washington able to make this a close game again. Extra point by Sly is up and good.
And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
Pollard to return from the end zone. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29.
Dallas gets set to take the field. After the touchdown we just saw, we have a brand new ball game. And now look at the situation. You got plenty of time on the clock. Defensively, they have 3 timeouts. So do you run the football here or do you throw it?
I think you have that full conversation with your offensive unit, and you tell them, here's the situation. They've got all their timeouts, so we are not going to play this conservatively. We've got to attack them. We've got to make them use those, gain the ground that we need in order to put this game away. If you think we're just going to run it 3 times and punt it, you got another thing coming.
Yeah, and by the way, also the 2-minute warning in play, so essentially 4 timeouts left.
They have to be aggressive here.
On second down now. It's Elliott. Elliott a first down and more. Power running by Zeke. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out.
I'm trying to understand it. I just can't. I'm trying to understand.
That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
Good cover defensively as they get to him just beyond the 45 after the broken tackle. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a third and about 4 more for first.
109 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to, and it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a second down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Here's Prescott. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Now Washington going to use the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Now Prescott.
Quick slant. He's got Elliott.
And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25.
Now Washington going to go ahead and use their final timeout.
And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. Throwing here, Prescott. And this is caught. And that could seal it. It's a touchdown.
Well, it'd be real easy to say that they are firmly in control right now, but I'm looking at your face and I'm thinking I've got to be careful with that.
Well, it's a 2-score game. You're inside of 2 minutes. I think you can breathe relatively easily now.
Yeah, you can, but still, you got to stay vigilant. You can't give up anything cheap and easy. That could put you in some jeopardy.
Extra point right down the middle, and the lead now up to 14. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
No run back here for Reed, so this will come out to the 25.
Out comes the Washington offense as we get a look at the playoff race in the NFC.
Now Washington
Down by 2 touchdowns. And time, a huge factor.
And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete. For these two division rivals, the schedule maker gave them a couple of second-half meetings this year. They met for the first time back in Week 11, and it was the visitors getting the win there, so they'll be looking for the sweep back here at home. And that's complete to Brown.
9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. They'll drop to throw. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. It's picked up by the Cowboys. And the return stops at the 39-yard line.
Well, that drive wasn't a case of wanting to put points on the board. It was needing to, having to, and they didn't get it done.
Yeah, didn't get it done, and now you look at the situation and the point differential, 2 scores, pretty much game, set, match.
How about the takeaway, though, huh? How about those defensive guys?
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. That one looks like he'll throw here.
And it's a leaping effort, but it's knocked away and incomplete.
It certainly didn't appear that that's where he wanted to go with the ball initially, so he tried to get something out of it by dumping it off to his running back unsuccessfully.
To throw again on 2nd down. Prescott.
And this one quickly to Lamb.
And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. Prescott on 1st down. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal.
And this ball is caught by Lamb. Touchdown, Dallas. CeeDee Lamb.
His 3rd touchdown of the game, his 8th on the year.
And the Cowboys are moving closer to a 15-0 record as they extend their lead here.
Out comes the kicking team here for the extra point. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21 points. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it's capped off with a Cowboys touchdown. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
And this will come out to the 25 as Reed opts for the touchback. And the Washington offense heading out. Remember, they have won 3 straight, but getting to 4 straight does not appear to be in the cards as they are in a big 4th quarter hole.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. Following the incomplete pass, here they go again. 2nd and 10 from the 25. This is caught. It's Brown. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Cowboys,
they are now 2 wins away from a perfect regular season as they run their mark to 15-0 on the year.
And they'll return home next week to take on the Indianapolis Colts.
Meanwhile, for Washington,
they hit double digits in losses as they fall to 5 and 10. And they'll look to get back in the winning column next week as they head to Philly to face off with the Eagles. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This